Hi, I'm Victoria Kann, and I am the author and illustrator of the Pinkalicious book series, and I'm also co-executive producer of the TV show Pinkalicious and Peterific on PBS Kids. And I'm so happy to be here with you today because I'm going to read a story and then do an art activity. And we are going to read Apples, Apples, Apples. I love apples and they are so good for you. They are really wonderful to eat, and I think I eat 3 a day. I just love them, and my daughters could never fall asleep without eating an apple before bedtime. So we are going to read the story. Apples, apples, apples. We were at the Pinkville orchard. It was apple harvest day. Peter and I found the map of the farm. I read the names of the different apple trees. Pinka, wow, I shouted. There's a kind of apple called Pink Lady. I couldn't believe it. A perfect apple. I had to find it right away. Have you had any Pink Lady apples? They are absolutely delicious. They are so yummy. I wonder what your favorite apple is. I like Pink Lady. I also like Macintosh. Peter and I searched through rows and rows of trees. We found red apples, green apples, giant apples, and tiny apples, but no Pink Ladies. Keep looking, Peter, I said. They've got to be here somewhere. Oh, Pinkalicious, Peter called from behind me. Look what I found. I turned and saw my little brother with his arms full of round, rosy apples. Pink ladies for a pink lady, he said. It's fun to go apple picking. Have you gone this year? Peter and I giggled as we put the apples in our wagon. Let's get some more, I said. We ran back and forth until we filled up the wagon. More? Asked Peter. More, I answered. By the time Mommy and Daddy found us, our apple pile was an apple pyramid of beautiful pink ladies. Oh dear, Mommy said. What are we going to do with all this fruit? Said Daddy. Peter and I looked at each other. We hadn't thought of that. That's a big pile of apples. We rode home very carefully and very slowly. Peter and I kept looking back to make sure the apples didn't fall off the wagon. Oh dear, said Mommy again. Straight ahead of us was a giant hill. Mommy looked at Daddy. Peter looked at me. Uh-oh, I said. Up, up, up we climbed. We pedaled and pushed our way to the top. At long last, we were almost home. I could see all of Pinkville down below. I was so excited to get home that I started pedaling faster. Wait, said Daddy. Be careful, or the apples will. What do you think's going to happen? Daddy didn't get to finish his sentence. He was interrupted by the sound of rolling apples. The pink ladies fell out of the wagon and went flying down the hill. We tried to catch them, but they were rolling much too fast. In just a few seconds, the streets of Pinkville were covered with fruit. Come on, I yelled. We have to get our apples. Peter and Mommy ran in one direction. Daddy and I ran in another. We followed the apples as they tumbled down the street, picking them up one by one. Oh, that's a lot of work picking up those apples. Just think of it as exercise. You just bend down, pick it up, bend down, pick it up. We searched high and low for our missing pink ladies. Mommy and Peter found a bunch that had rolled into the schoolyard. Mr. Swizzle had some by the front door of his ice cream parlor. I saw 3 hiding under the rose bushes in Pinkville Park. Look at this. You get lots, more than 40 stickers with this book. Isn't that fun? Little by little, we gathered up all the pink ladies and brought them home. Then we washed them and washed them and washed them some more. Some of them were a little bit bruised, but they were still good enough to eat. So we ate them. All week we had apples with every meal. apple cake and apple crumble, applesauce and apple cider, sliced apples, diced apples, dried apples, fried apples, even apple ice cream. Have you ever had apple ice cream? That sounds interesting. I might try making that. By Friday, we had eaten nothing but apples, and we still had many left. It felt like we were never going to finish. Look at that. I see apple cake, and looks like an apple tart, and I guess apple ice cream, and look at all those sliced apples. Yum. That night, I thought about how we had too many apples and not enough people to eat them. And I thought about how my family had looked for the pink ladies all over town. That's when I had an idea. Since we couldn't eat all the apples on our own, maybe we could share them with the rest of Pinkville and call it Apple Appreciation Day. Oh, that sounds like a lovely day. The next day, I brought a shiny fresh apple and a whole apple pie to school and gave them to Miss Penny. "Thank you, Pinkalicious," she said. "To what do I owe this surprise?" "It's Apple Appreciation Day," I said. "I appreciate you, Miss Penny, so you get an Applicious treat. Thank you for being the best teacher ever." Well, maybe you have a favorite teacher that you would like to share an apple with. What do you think? My friend Allison was sick, so when I got home, Mommy and I went over to her house with a basket of apples. "I'm sorry you're sick," I said. "Since an apple a day keeps the doctor away, I hope this keeps you healthy for a long, long time." Allison giggled. She bit into an apple. "I feel better already," she said. Everywhere we went, we handed out apples and apple treats. Finally, we reached Mr. Swizzle's shop. We gave him a small container of apple ice cream. "Mr. Swizzle, you spend all day making sweet treats for everyone in Pinkville," I said. "This time, we wanted to make something delicious for you. Happy Apple Appreciation Day." Mr. Swizzle took a bite. "This is marvelous. This is excellent. This is positively applicious," he said. "What do you call it?" "Pink Lady Supreme," I said with a smile. By that evening, we had given away almost all our apples. We only had one left. "Looks like Apple Appreciation Day was a huge success," said Mommy and Daddy, giving me a big hug. Then Mommy took the last apple out of the basket. "This one's for you, Pinkalicious," she said as she cut it in half and twisted it open. Inside, there was a star. "A pink lady with a star inside," said Daddy. "That sounds like someone I know." "Thanks for being so generous with the apples and for thinking of other people," said Mommy and Daddy. "You are our star." Did you know that there's a star in the middle of an apple? I am going to show you. And have you read all these Pinkalicious books yet? There are a lot. There are over 70 Pinkalicious books. I wonder how many you have read. Okay, are you ready to do a little art and to see the star? Let's start with the star. Let's see. Look at this. I have an apple. Wow, this is so beautiful. Do you see that? There's a star inside every apple. I just love that. That is so beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, I have my Make Things box, and inside I have some paint, and I'm going to put some paint on some paper plates, and I have paper towels because I get messy, and I have some paper, and I am going to show you. Oh, I need my paintbrush. I'm back. All right, so I'm going to show you how. That was so loud. How we make apple prints. So we put some paint on a plate, and I have pink because I like the color pink. I have a preference for pink. I know you might not have known that, but I do. And then I have some yellow. And I'm going to scoop that out and put that right here. And so you can take, oh, I need that cutting board again. So you can take an apple and you can cut it exactly in half. Just like this. This is what it looks like if you slice it the other way. And you can put some paint on it. Like this. And you get a piece of paper. And you make a print. So a print is when you press down. I want to get some on the stem. Is when you press down on something, when you print something, you push down on something on a piece of paper. So let's see. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So there's an apple print. So I want to show you, I made a couple earlier so you could see what it looks like. This is what it looks like with printing when you cut the apple in half that way. And this is what it looks like when you print with the star. And this is when you move the apple and you just put the paint on it. And then this is really fun. This is another thing you can do. You take your apple and you cut triangles, little wedges, and you make the apple into a shape. So you just keep cutting wedges. So see my apple? Isn't that an interesting shape? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put some paint on the apple. And then I'm going to make a print of this shape. And you've got to get plenty of paint on your apple. And then you press down really hard. Ooh, I even got a little seed in there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now I want to show you what I did one earlier. And I cut out the shape of the apple and I put it in pink and then I put it in yellow and I printed all over this piece of paper with the apple shape. And look how cool that looks. Look at those pretty colors. You could use any color that you want and you're making a beautiful print. And it's abstract and you just have a lot of fun and you go with it. And you can see here I've mixed some of the color. When you mix pink and yellow, you get orange. So those are very joyful colors. I think they're really beautiful. I hope you try this at home and I hope you enjoy eating lots and lots of apples and reading stories. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you get to find some pink lady apples and chomp, 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 eat them. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, think pink. Bye-bye.